I don't know, people, there's something serious happening across the world. A lot more people are deciding to move from these foreign countries back to Jamaica. This lady that you're seeing on the screen behind me, she decided to move from Canada back to Jamaica. And I need you guys to take a listen to her story and let me know in the comment section if any of you can relate to what's happening currently. Let's take a listen.
I moved from Canada to Jamaica and my whole entire life.
Hold on. You know what I find funny, people? Sorry to interrupt the video, but it's like the contrast between Canada. Look at the clip that this lady decided to use for Canada versus Jamaica. Because she's showing Canada in its winter state versus Jamaica that's summer all year round. Unfair advantage. Alright, let's go, people.
I moved from Canada to Jamaica and my whole entire life has changed. Before Jamaica, my life in Canada, it just looked good on paper. Everything just seemed so stable, predictable, and like cold. But then I started to realize that my life just felt like a loop. Like, you know that repetitive cycle? You wake up, you eat, you sleep, you rush, you do your work, back to sleep again. That's what Canada was doing to me. So when Jamaica entered my mind, it just felt like the perfect escape. The sun, the warmth, and the slower pace and lifestyle was just calling my name. I told myself, this is it, This is going to be the turning point. This is the start of my life.
All right, people, what you're witnessing there is a global problem. It's not just unique to Canada. People from the US are also deciding to move back to Jamaica. I know recently Canada, because I'm living in Canada myself, I know last week or so they actually announced that Canada is now in a technical recession. I have no clue what a technical recession is. I know just recession. But definitely there's a world crisis happening. A lot of people are blaming Trump for introducing these high tariffs, which are now affecting prices for everything. Gasoline is through the roof. I can testify to that. But what I find alarming about these videos that I've been doing recently is that young people, a lot of them who are leaving the soft life and moving to the Caribbean, that is a signal to me that there's something clearly wrong. There's something happening globally. And it seems like now the tables have turned where Jamaica, these Caribbean countries, are now operating like first world countries. And now the first world countries are starting to feel a bit third worldish, and that's a major problem when people are starting to feel like they are the fuel that's fueled the entire country, the entire economy. It should not be like that where taxes are the only source of the GDP. So let's continue and hear some of the reasons that sparked our decision.
I thought Jamaica was going to be easy. I thought the hardest part would have been, like adjusting to the heat or trying to learn the accent or maybe even just missing Canadian food. But the real adjustment, it wasn't physical. To me personally, I feel like the real adjustment, it was more like an emotional, mental thing. Things are actually very much slower here. And I'm not talking about just traffic. I'm talking about everything. Here in Jamaica, appointments do not mean appointments. Time doesn't rush you. And the systems don't bend you just because you're used to them. In Canada, efficiency was king, okay? The time rate was everything. You walk in the bank. In Canada, everything's a timely manner. And as I said before, efficiency is king. But here in Jamaica, I noticed that patience is survival.
It's definitely a learning curve, people. I can definitely tell the difference between a Canadian lifestyle versus a Jamaican lifestyle. I have a unique perspective because I was also working in Jamaica for the government. So I can definitely tell the difference that efficiency in Canada, believe me, it's on a whole different level. In Canada, people, I can tell you, these workers, their job is to get the money out of your pocket as fast as possible. That's the singular. These people are not going to try to turn you down. Unlike Jamaica, where they will turn you down in an instant for the simplest little things. Believe me, in my opinion, like when I went back to Jamaica, I tried to renew my driver's license. It just so happened that I left the expired driver's license in Canada and I went to the tax office. Remember, people, I went to the tax office where I used to work. Let me say it again. I went to the tax office that I used to work with co-workers, right? I went to a co-worker and said, yo, back in the place, people. Feels good to be here. Place hot, but we like it and everything. And after a nice chit chat, I explained that I'm here to renew my driver's license. And they're going to tell me that they can't renew the driver's license because I don't have the old one. So I don't know if they just need the old one to look at it to verify that I had an old one when the information is on the system. You understand? And I'm a ex-worker, so validation should not be a problem. And I got denied people. I could not drive, right? Versus here, I literally just renewed my driver's license recently because I celebrated a birthday recently, May 25th. And believe me, I renewed my driver's license online without even taking a photograph, without even submitting the old driver's license, without doing nothing. All I did was just pay a fee, and in a couple of days, my driver's license was at my doorstep. So you can see the difference, people. So as a foreigner moving to Jamaica, you need to brace yourself for these little hiccups. We have to prepare you because I know a lot of people are deciding to move back. But you can't move back expecting that you're going to get this first world pace, this fast paced thing. In Jamaica, the saying is no problem, man. There's no problem ever. People move at the pace that they want to move at. No matter if you're a customer, if you come in and you interrupt a person, they don't care about you and your sales people. It's sad to say, but they say Jamaica have some of the worst customer service ever. These people will actually get upset if you come in and interrupt their breaks when you're coming to spend money. So foreigners, brace yourself. So it's a little bit of a learning curve for her, but we're going to take a listen further and hear what's happening.
The more patience that you have, the more patience that you can endure, the longer you're going to make it. And that was my first wake-up call. You know, there was days where I didn't even feel like I belonged anywhere. Like I felt like I was too Canadian to be local, too foreign to blend in. And I just feel like I'm always noticeable. I'm always different. Anywhere I go, some days even felt lonely, even when you are surrounded by people. So I started to miss like familiarity. I started to miss how it felt to feel invisible. Like I started to remember the times where I would go in the mall for shopping and you know what I mean? It's just like a normal day. Here, as soon as you step outside, it's like you are noticed, okay? I started to ask myself a serious question that nobody posts online. Did I make a mistake moving to Jamaica?
So what she's talking about, that feeling, that's how people feel when they migrate from Jamaica to these foreign countries. We start to feel like we stick out like a sore thumb, like we just stand out because of our accent. We don't sound like everybody else. We don't carry ourselves. Our mannerism is different. That's how we feel, people. So definitely leaving from one country to another, it's a learning curve. And you have to brace yourself for that. It's not a decision that you should just make lightly. You have to weigh the pros and cons. And this is what she's learned. As a young person who is just in the midst of actually starting to live in her life, yeah, it's a major decision. But you can adjust. We'll see. Will she adjust? Let's hear.
Did I make the right move? The hardest moments, they were not the dramatic moments. They were the quiet moments. Standing in a lineup that was not moving, waiting on something that might not happen today. Building a house in Jamaica is no joke. Waiting on the blueprint, the parish council, going through the whole process of laying down your first block in your foundation. Not easy. And then I also had to slowly realize that nobody was coming to fix anything for me. I decided to move to Jamaica, so if I wanted better, I have to actually make better for myself or learn how to make things work. Very special. Not the Jamaicans, but Jamaica doesn't really care where you come from. That may be uncomfortable, but it's just the honesty. Then for me, something shifted. Not magically, not all at once, but something shifted. So I slowly just stopped fighting the pace. I stopped comparing everything to Canada, like literally. I just left it all behind. Just leave it all behind, stop the comparison. I started listening more, I started watching more, and I just fell into the notion of pre more, talk less. You just take some time out to actually learn how people are actually living here in the country. And slowly, Jamaica stopped feeling like a destination. It started to more so feel like the turning point of my life. And here's the truth that nobody really talks about. Moving to Jamaica, it didn't fix my life, okay? It more so exposed my life. It showed me how addicted I was to speed, how addicted I was to control, and how addicted I was to comfort. When you're comfort...
Yo, that's profound. I hope a lot of people actually understand what she's saying. Sometimes you actually have to live it to understand. I understand. Here in this country, the moment you wake up, people, it's just work. Work is the only thing on your mind 100%. So speed, efficiency. And believe me, in these workplaces, if you're not efficient, they're going to get rid of you in a second. Believe me, because there's 10 other people lined up to take your job. So you always have to be on your A game, and that just kind of puts you in a mode where you just feel like you need to be moving like, yo, you're plugged in. So in Jamaica, you get more chance to just kind of lay back. So like she said, Jamaica didn't actually fix her life. It just kind of showed her a new perspective of how she can actually live her life. And I think that's the best explanation I've ever heard of this migration process.
Irritable in your situation, you don't want to get up, you don't want to get out. But it exposed my life, it showed me who I really am, and I am basically that girl. Because, yeah,
Overcome.
I'm conquering a lot, right? And thanks to Jamaica for making me realize these things. But it also taught me presence, you know, community, and how little bit you actually need to survive in this world. That's what Jamaica taught me.
Exactly so. Some of the happiest people I know in Jamaica, you would deem them as poor, but believe me, they're rich in love and spirit. They're the happiest set of people. People with less than nothing, yo, like, believe me. Yeah, well said.
Paradise isn't a place. It's where you learn to live, where you are. And for me, Jamaica is my paradise. I don't regret leaving Canada, but I also don't romanticize Jamaica. Both places give you something, and both places take something from you. If you get where I'm coming from? Yeah. So the real question is, would you move here? Would you move to Jamaica? Are you ready? Or I should say, would you be ready for what the move would teach you? If you ever thought about leaving your country, or you have already done it, I'd love to hear your stories down below in the comment section.
Honestly, people, that was one of the best videos I've watched in a long while of a person expressing the contrast or the differences between living overseas and now living in the Caribbean, people. I think it's actually very important for us to discuss these things openly, transparent, because a lot of people are going to uproot their lives and move and then have regrets. So people, drop it in the comment section and share your thoughts. And once again, I'll provide a link to her channel because I think that she did a really impactful video, people. We definitely need to actually support this video. So once again, people, my name is Wiz. Thank you for watching.